Women should not drink alcoholic beverages during pregnancy because of the risk of birth defects in their unborn child. Now, a new study has found that a father's alcohol consumption prior to conception can also lead to growth defects that affect the development of the child's brain, skull, and face. Research investigating fetal alcohol syndrome, FAS, has typically focused on maternal alcohol exposure in the past. However, as men tend to consume more alcohol and engage in binge drinking more frequently than women, researchers have recently questioned this conventional approach and explored the impact of alcohol use in both parents. Researchers used mouse models to compare the results of when the mother, father, and both parents consumed alcohol before conception. The findings revealed craniofacial defects in the offspring when each parent drank alcohol. The results were similar to those found in human children. Interestingly, male exposure to alcohol drove certain craniofacial differences much stronger than maternal exposures. Craniofacial abnormalities refer to any structural or developmental issues affecting the head and face, such as malformations or deformities in the skull, face, or jaw. Even mothers who drank little or nothing while pregnant had children with significant disabilities on the fetal alcohol disorder spectrum, indicating that a key component of fetal health and development may be coming from the father. Fetal alcohol syndrome, or FAS, is a group of conditions that can occur in a person who was exposed to alcohol before birth. FAS is hard to diagnose, but when doing so, doctors look for abnormal facial features, lower than average weight, height, or both, central nervous system problems such as a small head size, problems with attention and hyperactivity, or poor coordination, and verification of maternal alcohol use during pregnancy. The study suggests that both parents should be incredibly careful with their alcohol consumption before conception to minimize the risk of birth defects. Alcohol warning labels should emphasize the consequences of alcohol consumption for both parents rather than solely focusing on
If you're going to drink alcohol, keep this in mind. Alcohol is very drying. It can be a poison to the human body. Traditionally, when we made wine and other fermented beverages, they were good for the body, good for digestion. Currently, we are using herbicides and pesticides. Predominantly, glyphosate has saturated and found its way into alcohol, and that wreaks havoc on the gut microbiome, killing the good bacteria. When it comes to alcohol, you want to choose the purest as possible. Tequila, because it's not a grain, comes close to that. Make sure you get a high quality tequila and they're not using any kind of hexane or solvents in the manufacturing process. Traditionally, the vodkas and the scotches of the world, the high quality ones, were also very pure. So source wisely if you're going to imbibe. When it comes to wine, if you feel that you're allergic or you have an allergic reaction to it, look no further than the additives as well as the pesticides and herbicides and other garbage that end up showing in the alcohol. You're going to have to go pre-1949 bottle of wine to go before the introduction of pesticides and herbicides. So be very mindful. It can dry you out. That can create premature aging. And then excessive can create a fatty liver. And that's very detrimental. And you have the potential to get the old cirrhosis of the liver, which is liver disease. Ultimate lifestyle transformation for the win, and imbibe responsibly.
Everyone who drinks alcohol is so toxic. I hate that every time I go out, it's so normalized to drink. And why are they even doing it? Just because they need an excuse to? Ugh, just trapped by their vices. And I'm over it. I can't be around people who drink. They're obviously not my kind of people. They're closed-minded, enslaved.
Wow, you're really passionate about this, hey? Well, yeah, look, having worked in the service industry, I feel like I've really seen how bad alcohol can really be, and so many people are just asleep to their vices. I'm sorry, but making an assumption about every single person on Earth's relationship to a substance like alcohol, which has been around for thousands of years, for better or worse, based on your limited perspective, is kind of close-minded, which is the exact same thing you're accusing everybody else of being. Are you kidding me? I've seen how destructive alcohol can be in so many people's lives, including my own and a lot of people I care about. It's clearly bad and low vibrational. Okay, so you're projecting your toxic relationship with alcohol onto everybody else. Look, I'm sorry. I'm sure that having people you care about and yourself struggle with alcohol hasn't been easy. And I can only imagine the pressure and the anxiety you feel every time you're in an environment with heavy drinking. That must be tough. Yeah, thanks, man. It's hard not to let it get to me sometimes, you know? Of course, it's so socially acceptable, but Alcohol, like any substance, is a tool like fire. You know, it's been used to connect people through social settings and celebration and rituals. But like fire, it can also get out of control when we're reckless, when we're not careful with it, when we don't use it with intention, when we use it to try to escape the moment instead of share the moment with others. We have to focus on our relationship with alcohol and everything else. Careful not to rush into labeling things solely good or solely bad, whether that's with alcohol, substances, or especially even ourselves. Getting stuck in the world of duality and labeling is a road to misery in our lives. Lots of good people enjoy a drink here and there. I mean, even Jesus had a glass of wine.
$50,000. Think about that. People mistakenly think that, oh, I'm not spending that much money on alcohol in terms of, what you're actually outlaying to buy alcohol. The real monetary loss, in my view, is the money that you're not generating because you are drinking. That's where the real income loss is. I mean, it's not necessarily loss, it's just not gain. You're not generating that additional revenue or income because you're foggy and irritable and distracted and tired and lethargic.